that's really interesting play here. Obviously, no dispel for th000, so it's going to be really strong. th000's now going to lose his expansion. Maybe th000 coming in for another attack, just trying to keep it alive, but he knows he doesn't really have a hope here. Surely, yes, it does go down, even with a couple repairing wisps, and there's one Ancient of War now being brought in as a nice tank, and something that can do a huge amount of damage to Riflemen, and a couple Militia being brought in. Really smart play. It's like ferfe has been watching th000 replays or something, knows exactly how th000 likes to play with bringing in Militia to lots of critical situations where they wouldn't necessarily otherwise be brought in. But level 6 now on this Warden, so nice to get that out, and we'll immediately be seeing a bunch of Spirit of Vengeance going up because there's so many skeletons around, and those will just be able to, especially against the casters, they're just so useful, and th000 just needs to make the most of that now while he waits for a some sort of transition. Surely he can't continue with this route, it's just not working out as well as he'd probably hoped, and maybe if he can get down to Hunter's Hall now, he can transition into something else. But obviously Rifle Caster, like the original human strategy, it's actually still a very strong strategy, if somewhat countered just by some nice use of Bear Dryad basically, but th000 just doesn't really have the time to transition into that, and actually th000 killing off a couple sheep here so he can get those easy skeletons. Smart play there by him, because he knew he couldn't get back to get to any other skeletons, and you can see just immediately focusing down this priest who should have Inner Fire cast on him. Actually all the casters should have Inner Fire cast on them just to be safe, and ferfe going for the block on them, maybe? No, that was just coincidental maybe, and so you can see ferfe running all his priests and Sorks back home, and it looks like th000 coming back again. All his army damage is piercing though, and so he's going to be able to take down these casters really quickly, but the Riflemen and the Water Elementals and the heroes are going to be so hard to kill. I like the choice of 3 heroes by ferfe, because it's just going to be so annoying for th000 to try and do any damage to with just a piercing damage army, and th000 now looks like he's going to be running back with his Warden, and so much Inner Fire on that front line especially. It makes it so hard for th000 to actually engage here. Really strong play here by ferfe, has a scout farm actually there. I hadn't noticed that, but that's quite nice as well, just against that Warden with no blink, and it looks like actually a couple low Riflemen might go down. Nice use of Healing Scroll there. Fortunately it was a second too late to save one of them, but it did save the other one, and it looks like we are seeing a couple Ancients of Lore now out, but we're not yet seeing them produce anything. And at this point, yes, there's a couple Dryads there. You might even wonder if th000 was considering Mountain Giants then, because obviously Mountain Giants not terrible against Riflemen, and you can pick up some trees and then attack the casters as well for siege damage, which is nice. But it looks like some nice macro here by th000, managing to save all of his units at low health though. He needs to pick up some Scroll of Healing. He does have a Potion of Mana, which is going to be quite nice for him, but it's just not going to be enough surely at this point to actually allow him to transition to anything safe at all. And the first couple Dryads are out. Dispel coming out as well, obviously lots of things you want to be dispelling. Lava Spawns, Water Elements. I'm not actually sure if we've seen any Lava Spawns. We might not even have gone for Lava Spawns second, but I can't imagine he would have gone for the Incineration thing. Maybe he did. And it looks like these Spirits of Vengeance just so capable of doing a whole bunch of damage, and ferfe now scattering out this Ancient of Lore transition. th000 not trying to rebuild his expansion, he's just under too much pressure at this point, but ferfe just having his army slowly whittled down, losing one priest there. And th000 now coming in with his 3 Dryads as well, should be able to dispel any second now. Yes, coming along that dispel, and th000 constantly being soul burnt, stopping him from casting anything. Smart play here by ferfe, who's obviously a player you don't hear about too much, but he's in every WCG, and then basically nothing else. I'm not sure what country he's from, but it's he certainly always puts up a very fun show when he comes to WCG, and it looks like level 7 now on this Warden. I wonder if we're going to be seeing level 3 Shadow Strike. Surely we are, though level 1 Blink can actually be so useful just in a really clutch location. Staff finally being used by that Archmage to save one of the low Riflemen, but another low Rifleman goes down, and now 4 Dryads now out, and I'm really impressed that th000 actually managed to transition into these Dryads, considering his situation. th000 now dropping his 2 circlets so that he can use that mana potion as well. Smart play to get maximum effectiveness in there, and a scout tower going up here just to try and stop th000 from doing any sneaky expansion. But it looks like a very nice Phantom Knife going up there, but it looks like this Warden in a lot of trouble, being forced to TP out finally, and this one Rifleman does eventually go down, and th000 doesn't lose anything in that last battle. Really spectacular play here by him, managing to come back from such a bad position, but he has nothing in his Munos. He's going to have to spend a whole bunch of gold buying a healing potion, buying a clarity potion, and in the meantime he's not going to be able to expand because of that scout tower. He's taking it out now with a fairy dragon, and actually he's coming in with the rest of his army as well. I think a healing scroll would be a very smart thing for th000 to buy at this point, and looks like we're seeing ferfe with 4-3-2 heroes, and actually taking out this one farm, which is apparently blocking his knights from getting out. That's a bit unfortunate there, but I do like this knight transition here from him. And are these no, these everything else seems to be okay. And so ferfe will be able to go on a bit of an offensive now. If he is, I wonder if he's supply capped now. No, 45 out of 54 compared to 50 for th000. But obviously th000 is better heroes as well, or has a better hero, but there's 3 heroes for ferfe. There's a bit of a toss-up as to who actually has the better army at this point. th000 possibly is slightly better army, but slightly worse healed. You can see these hippogriff fighters are just really low health, and th000 now retraining. Ooh, probably to blink, shadow strike, and avatar vengeance. We'll have to see what he's chosen here. Obviously, Phantom Knives is very useful in this situation against a whole bunch of low hit point units, but now these knights are coming out. Ooh, wait, blink and shadow and Phantom Knives. Yeah, that's an interesting choice there by him. It's obviously shadow strike's really nice, especially against things like the Fire Lord. But once you get to the once you get those priests out, it becomes a lot less effective, and especially with that human staff as well, because you know exactly when it's going to die. And it looks like th000 now actually losing 1 Dryad there, but oh, that's warding getting so low. Going to need to make a run for it. Uses an invuln pot, and actually does have a clarity, which he could be using at this point as well. But it looks like a couple of these knights will go down, even with that inner fire cast on it. Nice blink in there, using a Phantom Knife and then getting out as well. And now that clarity being used by th000, and this Avatar Vengeance has done so much damage throughout this game. It's such a shock. Oh, you know, nice blink. Phantom Knives and then blink out again to get that 1 more kill, and th000 now playing so spectacularly. th000 needs to start dispelling these water elementals if he has mana on his Dryades. Actually, all his Dryades are pretty low on mana. He does have enough to actually dispel it, but it's always just so important to, as well as to try and get that inner fire, but that's, I think, much less important in this situation. And th000 going to need to run back and heal. He has used a Moonstone as well, so that he will be able to regenerate a whole bunch of mana on his Moonwells, and you can see they're all pretty much empty at this point. th000 now putting on some pressure, and ferfe needs to wait for his Fire Lord to come back out before he's really going to be happy to go for a counter push. And th000 with this Zeppelin here, actually, he seems to have pretty much forgotten about it, but it might just be he's leaving it there so he can come back in a clutch location and be a super fun save. We'll have to see. And it looks like the this knight actually getting a bit aggressive, going to take a bit of damage. Obviously these slow poisons just so annoying, and th000 almost running into the range of that arcane tower with his warden, which is using a clarity. And now you can see knight has actually started for legit, so looks like ferfe actually going to try and take this attack a bit early. Ferfe using the staff now on his knockup, but that means his warden's really exposed, especially considering that there's that blink warden, which at any time can just blink in, use a shadow strike, and then blink out immediately, and only have wasted about 120 mana. So that's a really nice thing that th000 has the option of doing at any point. That means that ferfe needs to be so careful with his heroes. This Fire Lord is back out. Lots of militia probably going to be called now. That's really much his only chance. th000 now, even with a bear out as well, really looking very strong at this point. He's moved his Tree of Eternity as well. That's smart play here by him, and just one of the advantages that Elf has in this late game when neither player has actually taken an expansion. You know, this these Spirits of Vengeance, I'm not sure where they're trying to go, probably trying to get to this priest, but nice block here by ferfe. We should probably just attack the knight or something with a bit of low health, and actually he's going for the sword, which I guess is a good choice as well. But th000 going to be looking to take this attack soon, but he doesn't need to be in any rush at all, because he is going to have the economy advantage fairly soon once this mine starts, and so really as much th000 is willing to give away as much time as he wants, but he needs to pressure for some sort of attack just so he doesn't get caught off guard. Obviously, if his army gets caught away from his warden, or he gets a couple low bears caught away, that's always bad. So you want to be able to take a fight on your turn. Ooh, a bad staff here. I mean, it's nothing ferfe could have done about that, but thankfully for him, th000 had run away to the Dryades, could have picked that off very quickly. Obviously, you would need to make sure not to dispel that. You can dispel the staff sanctuary effect, in case you didn't know that, but you need to be very careful. We know th000 being caught out a bit there, but it looks like th000 just gonna be able to dispel those that water elemental and then run back, and you can see th000 running back his low Dryades as well. Still no upgrades on his units, but obviously he's just spent so much on transitioning to Bear Dryad, which is such a gutsy transition, and a nice staff there on that Fire Lord. But as I was saying, actually, if this knight had been staffed there and th000 was still here, he could just pick it off with Dryades, not dispelling it, so it couldn't run away, and that's just such a strong strategy. Meanwhile, th000, ooh, Chimera transition, very fun play here, and obviously Chimeras do a whole bunch of extra damage to both knights and militia, and water elementals as well, so a very strong thing to do. Nice blink and Phantom Knives, taking all those militia down to very low health, but Thu now being soul burnt. Nice play here by ferfe. Thu being forced to use his staff of teleportation to get away, get home, get some more mana, and obviously his army can basically fight on its own. This warden is now level 9, and Thu can blink back so quickly. Ancient Isles is such a small map, and we could see that Thu just could be able to take a bit of damage on his spares. Gonna not, actually blocking his own with an unfortunate position for that one spare defender to come up, but ferfe gonna have to run back now, gonna have to heal up again. This is how ferfe has to play this game from now on. But once those chimeras come out, that will be game over basically. I can't imagine ferfe coming back from this, even though he's in such a strong position. Thu just played so solidly. Really fun play here by Thu, going for you so rarely see any Hippogriff riders, and just so nice to see them being used quite competitively, though I think we did definitely see the disadvantage of them in this game, and this Arcane Sanctum is going to be picked off, but that's not the thing Thu needs to worry about most. Actually, it might be best just to run in and try and take out this tower quite quickly. Meanwhile, Blink coming in, very nice blink, takes out that just in the hit, that knight in the hit, and then runs out, doesn't even use any extra mana. 555 maximum mana on that warden, and actually the warden is at that amount of mana now, and we'll probably be seeing a final fight in very short period of time. Thu might just wait for his chimeras to come into the battle before he actually starts the fight, and you can see that one of them's almost done, so we'll probably be seeing that any second now. But Thu unwilling to engage in range of this tower, or these towers, just because it's not a risk worth taking. But Thu now actually taking a bit of damage on this bear, but he can just run it back. He doesn't have enough mana to rejuvenate. Actually, he doesn't have enough mana on either of them because they've been fighting in the range of this arcane tower, but still, it's not the end of the world. Spirit of Vengeance being brought up as well, and now we're going to see what the human tri-hero can actually do, and it's an unconventional human tri-hero. Obviously, Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin is such a strong tri-hero, but this one isn't brilliant, just because it doesn't be good at taking out individual units in the way that other combinations are. Meanwhile, Thu coming in, he's even got that siege upgrade for his chimeras. Really smart play there by him. It's going to allow him just to sit at the back of the space and slowly take things out. Thu knows there's an expansion here, so he's very confident that he can slow play this, and we can see he's not going to take any battle he doesn't want to. He's going to tell ferfe that if he wants to end this game at all, he's going to have to come out and fight in a position that Thu's just going to be massively favoured. He's going to, just these towers pose such a threat. It's not a huge threat, but why risk it really? And smart play. And Thu meanwhile gonna run back to do some shopping. He's out of mana pretty much on his warden, so he's gonna probably buy a mana potion and a clarity potion, and just come straight back into this battle. Ferfe maybe gonna pick this fight now. He's never gonna have a better time than this. Nice use of Soulburn to try and cancel that bear, which I think was going into Druid form, but looks like it just wasn't quite enough. And Thu, we can see he used his blinks to get home so that he could staff back, and that just meant that even if ferfe had attacked when Thu was only halfway home, he could have staffed back immediately, and that's always the fastest way to do it. And it looks like there's a couple more chimeras now coming out for Thu. He's really just not going to be willing to fight here. I'm not sure he couldn't just move in and attack now. He should definitely just try and take out these guard towers at this point, and ferfe with no army whatsoever, just a couple heroes and some staffs, and two staffs, which actually are quite powerful. And it looks like the first tactic is just going to be trying to do a bit of damage. Obviously all his heroes are ranged, so he can do a whole bunch of damage to things like chimeras if they're cut out of position, but it's just chimeras are such great tanks. They are 1,000 hit points, and looks like ferfe now going to come in for the fight. Immediately that water elemental being dispelled, and Thu now just be able to basically A-click the victory. Nice staff there on that Naga, but Thu just going to be able to blink in and take it out very quickly, and there's the GG. And such a fun game there by Thu and ferfe, and nice, both those heroes go down as well. So hope you enjoyed that game. I'll try and bring you some more games very soon, so thanks.